Welcome to Here's How We Get There. It's the daily show filled with conversations about business and mental health in a down-to-earth style with real-world language. Now let's dive in with your co-hosts, Kenneth Shark Kinney and Trey Tucker.
All right, Shark, we need a career tip from you. There are a lot of people who want to work in the marketing or digital marketing space these days. So how might somebody do it today?
Let me put my glasses on so I can sound smarter than I actually am. So I think about this one a lot and gave some advice to my niece. She wanted to go towards marketing. And I think there's really a few paths. There's the consultant role, which really doesn't affect somebody that's a college grad because that's like somebody calling themselves a life coach at 23. Shouldn't work that way.
Yes.
But it really comes down to whether or not you go to work for a brand or you go to work for an agency. So pluses and minuses of both. With agencies, a lot of nimbleness. You can work on a lot of different accounts. I've worked for agencies before. You get exposed to the things where you can implement change more quickly. You're often brought in to do things a little more tactical. For the brand side, though, you get a true understanding of what it's like to be working with a customer, responsible for a customer, responsible for the customers you serve, and understand you're neck deep in the sausage making process. And that's important to understanding what your customers want. Cons for both of them. Flip them, and that tells you what the cons are. Because agencies, I don't care who they are, unless they are an elite agency, their CEO may tell you, or their president may tell you that they understand the value of the customer and they know how, they know how to communicate with your customer's customer, but most of them don't have a clue. They're not responsible. Nobody's picking up the phone and calling them. People call them when an ad campaign doesn't work, but customers are not calling them to find out why XYZ agency messed up their lawn care or insurance plan or college degree or whatever. Just doesn't happen that way. Usually it's based off performance for bringing in new people and maybe shaping some of that experience. That's for the most part. The problem with working for a company, though, is you're in meeting after meeting after meeting. If you stay there long enough, you end up like the gorilla in the zoo who looks like he's lost all of his life. When you see a lion in a cage and it looks like they're just like, oh God, another meeting. That's the way that life is. However, if I had to weigh the two, which were more important to do in today's world, it would be whether or not you work for an agency or a brand. You won't truly understand marketing until you work for a brand. Until you understand what it's like reporting, if you will, answering to a customer, directly to a customer, to the internal team, to understand the people that get laid off if your decisions don't make sense, i.e. Budweiser. But if you don't understand that relationship and really, really own it, you'll never be able to serve your customers well. I do think that it gives you a superpower, though, if you work for a brand for a while and then go to an agency and help them understand the value of a customer. That becomes really important, and it's hard for agencies to learn. So weighing a little both, start in either one, but just make sure that you're able to at least get exposure into both, because that's the way the modern marketing world works in hiring and where the jobs are.
Thank you for joining Shark and Trey on the Here's How We Get There show. Make sure to rate, review, and subscribe to the show and visit here'showwegetthere.com. That's here'showwegetthere.com.